Number 4 here, we have g of 1 minus g of 5. So this is a question that I like because it's basically two questions in one. So we're going to just have to split this, I guess. And we're going to do g of 1 on one side, g of 5 on the other. So it's 3x squared, or 3(1) squared, minus 6x, or 6 times 1, plus 4. I believe that's right. 3x squared minus 6x. 3x, yeah. And then g of 5 will be same thing, but with 5. So 5 squared minus 6 times 5 plus a 4. Okay, so 1 squared is 1, and 1 times 3 is 3, so this is just a 3. And then minus 6 times 1 is just going to be a 6, plus a 4. And 3 minus 6 is negative 3. Negative 3 plus 4 is 1. So g of 1 is 1. Now g of 5 squared is 25, and that times 3 is 75. 6 times 5 is 30, plus a 4. So this right here, 75 minus 30 would be 45. 45 plus 4 is 49. So we have g of 5 and g of 1. Now that we're done that, what do we have to do to these two numbers? Well, it says here we need to take g of 1, which is 1, and minus g of 5, which is 49. So we've got, I'm going to put maybe a little therefore. I'll write it g of 1 minus g of 5. That's really what we're asked. G of 1 is 1, minus g of 5 is 49. 1 minus 49 is going to be a negative 48. So there you have it. Two questions that you have to do, and then you have to, in this case, subtract them. Let's do 3w. Okay, so g of 3w is equal to 6x squared, and so here we'll put a 3w squared. Is it, sorry, it's a 3x. Is it a 3? What is the, I forgot the equation. 3x squared. Okay, so 3, and then x is going to be 3w squared, minus 6 times x, and x in this case we're going to input a 3w, plus a 4. Okay, what do we have here? So there's a 3, and then we're going to have to square the 3 and square the w. So 3 squared is going to be 9, and w squared is a w squared. Minus 6 times 3 is an 18, and there's a w, plus 4. And I can multiply, so the 3 times the 9 will be 27, and there's a w squared there, minus 18w, plus 4. So that's odd, where the output is not a number like negative 48, but that's because we didn't input just a number, we input a 3 and a w. So I like this one because it's a little bit stranger. But the idea is the same. It tells us that this is the input. So I'm going to put the input in the two spots and then go from there. Okay. Now this says we're going to go negative 2 times g of 3. So I guess I need to find out what is g of 3. So 3 times x, now the input is a 3, squared, minus 6 times x, and the input there is a 3, plus a 4. 3 times, so 3 squared is 9, minus 6 times 3 is 18, plus a 4. 3 times 9 is 27, minus 18, plus 27 minus 18 is 9, and 9 plus 4 is 13. Okay, so I have g of 3 is 13, but that's not what I'm asked. I'm asked for negative 2 times g of 3. Okay, so I'm going to put a therefore here because there's a little bit more to this. It's not just g of 3. Sorry, I don't know if I said 13. But this is negative 2 times g of 3. So it's negative 2 times, I guess, 13 is g of 3. 2 times 13 is 26, and it's negative. Okay, so there we go. Let's continue on here do a couple more questions. Now we have h of x. Now h of x is a different equation. 5x squared minus 2x minus 7, but the idea is still the same. We're going to have an input. So h of 2 is equal to 5 times 2 squared minus 2 times 2 minus 7. Now 2 squared is 4, so 5 times 4 minus 2 times 2 is 4 minus 7. 5 minus 4 is 20, minus the 4 minus the 7, and then 20 minus 4 is 16. 16 minus 7 is 9. So h of 2 is equal to 9. So a new equation, but it's okay. We had the input here, and so we did put the input in the 2 spots, and then that's it. Okay, let's try another one, and then we'll stop this video. So h of negative 1. H of negative 1 is equal to, is it a 5x squared? So 5 times negative 1 squared. 5 input squared minus 2 times the input. 2 times the input, which is negative 1, minus 7. Okay, so negative 1 squared is just 1, so this is really just 5 times 1. Negative 2 times negative 1 is a positive 2, minus 7. 5 times 1 is 5, plus the 2, minus the 7. Now 5 plus 2 is 7. 7 minus 7 is 0. So when I have an input of negative 1, I get an output of 0. Okay, so I'll just zoom out if you want to see those 2 questions, and then we'll do the last 5 in the next video.